Dear YouTube, hi there, it's me, Simon. Obviously you don't know me or of me, because why would you unless you had Larry constantly watching me and all the things I do for some weird reason. Anywho, I understand that nearly every month or two someone is annoyed at you and your team for doing something wrong. Ever since you were born in 2005, we were all in a shock and awe of how fast you grew into the juggernaut you are today. You are the second largest search engine in the world, your parent company Google being at number 1. My point is, you're a big kid now. And every big kid, going on to the big old age of 13 years, should know that people are going to criticize you and tell you off when you do bad things. Now that doesn't mean you should always listen to them, and hey, you already do that. However, you should on occasion take the time to listen to the people telling you how you can do better. According to the results, you have maybe possibly 1,500 people that help you to do your daily things. Whether they live in a bubble when it comes to the outside world or not is yet to be seen. However, you don't have to. I recently started a business, and in my line of work, I help businesses feel human again to the consumer. To help them not just see a customer as a wallet, but rather as a longtime friend that will come back again and again for a chat and a laugh and the occasional purchase. You are still young and still have a long way to go, but let me let you in on a few things to help you improve your ability to be better, not just for yourself, but also for your business as well. Number 1, stop overestimating yourself. You, in and of itself, are a great idea. The ability to share information at the click of a button, to help people create and learn and to have fun. Yet at the same time, you are removing people's ability to reach the videos that they want to see by ways of the algorithm on the feed page, and also of the sub boxes, which are completely broken. The bell icon that you introduced a while back is all but useless now, as the notifications rarely work. And when they do, they are for videos from the creators you don't even know. I understand what it is you are trying to do. You're trying to create more interesting YouTube. There is an issue with the way and how you are doing it. Let me explain. When you do it this way, it seems disingenuous and dishonest. You might not be trying to do it this way, but all you're doing when you implement these things is treating everyone on the site as a dollar sign. A walking, waking wallet. This will cause more and more people to want to stray from you. You are the global superpower of video, but if you think you are unsinkable, I have 2 words for you: Titanic and Lemon Brothers. Alright, so that's 3 words, but you still get my point. Number 2, honesty and open communication is vital. Anytime there has been some kind of scandal or policy change or anything in regards to bugs and glitches and everything in between, you and everyone helping you has been silent. Or just not very helpful. Alright, there have been a few moments where you began to be a little bit more open, like when Susan decided to take you to YouTube and then completely stopped because the things she was saying were not at all helpful. And when that one video of 2 staff talking about YouTube changes and issues and completely seemed like they weren't even in connection to the people who were working on the problems that were going on in the first place, the whole cause and denial and events that occurred, the only helpful thing I think I've heard of in your entire career, your entire existence, is when Casey Neistat interviewed Robert. That's saying something. When one of your creators has to go out of their way to interview one of your staff in order for one positive, significantly positive, if ever so slightly positive, PR things. What I'm trying to say here is very simple. Any time in the past that you've had an issue, you've ignored it, denied it, or both at the same time, whilst also subconsciously saying that it was something that you were looking into as well. You can understand why there's a bit of a trust issue between us all. The image we get of you is that you do not have a PR team, or a marketing team for that matter, and if you do, they're not doing that great when it comes to your own audience. In other words, they suck at their jobs. No offense to you, but you do. You've made great attempts to almost make the slightest dint in the communication thing. But a relationship is a two-way street. The most important things in a relationship is communication and honesty. Obviously, there are things you cannot tell us, like the algorithm, because then everyone would game it. But there are things you can tell us, like what things we can and cannot do or say to be monetized. Your rules and regulations are so very vague that it almost appears to be almost censorship. And for many people, you will block advertising when they discuss a topic, when at the same time someone else on another spectrum speaks about the same thing and no advertising is removed. Simply taking the time to respond to individuals like the biggest creators on your own platform and talk to them like you did with Casey, or you could use your platform, whether it is having them make short videos with what they and their audience would like to see in terms of change or even improvements, or to roll back on a few features implemented. It's a much quicker and easier alternative. Again, a relationship is two ways. You gotta give and take constructive criticism, instead of being that one kid out of the Babadook anytime someone tells you something you don't like. Number 3. Stop rolling out changes that your users don't want. The amount of times that you've rolled out changes to the platform that barely anyone wanted is staggering. A few examples could be that back in the day you used to be able to customize the background of your channel. A bit later than that, you removed the feature of the subscription box, let's be honest, because it was broken. It doesn't really have much of a purpose anymore because the notifications do nothing because of that bell icon. The reason you implemented it was apparently so we can choose the content we want to get and get notified when a creator uploads. Now you've removed even that. Not to mention the feed is now all but useless now as you rolled out a change that you are implementing now that is no longer in chronological order, let alone alphabetical order for many of us OCD people. Considering the fact that for quite a few people that use YouTube, it is to keep up to date with important things like news and what's going on around the world, from social, political, gaming, events, sports, and everything in between, and rely on YouTubers and businesses that create YouTube content on an almost daily basis for their streams of information. And in doing so, you've just made the issue much worse, as now the newest videos will be more difficult to bring to the forefront, and by the time that they will be irrelevant. I do understand why you are doing these things. I do. But like I said earlier, my job professionally is to help businesses create more business by realizing that they have to treat their customers and suppliers with the equal amount of respect that they would with their very own boss. In conclusion, I love YouTube. It brings me funny GIF videos, the remnants of Vines, daily news from multiple sources, cooking shows, and excellently produced narrated Let's Plays from this one Devon fellow. However, that is not to say that I'll sit here and pretend that the juggernaut of online video content, who is the current child of the world's largest search engine, is for all intents and purposes horrible at even the simplest forms of transparency and communication with the people who create from them and the ones that consume the things that they create. When you bite the hand that feeds you, they will stop feeding you. The internet will never become the TV or radio that you so want it to be. You cannot control it. Not anymore. Trying to turn it into that will simply be your downfall. You are the best alternative to TV currently, and TV is dying because of you. It is why people like using the platform of online video. They get to choose what they want to watch. When you make that difficult for them, they get annoyed or leave. May not be today, may not be tomorrow, may not even be 5 years from now, but it will happen. You will lose the support of your creators, your viewers, and your investors. The reason this will happen is for the simple fact that someone will do what you couldn't, or rather decided not to do. Just like radio beat the newspaper, and the TV beat the radio, and you beat the TV, someone will beat you if you don't start acting like your users are human, instead of a walking, waking wallet. So, if you want to last for another 100 years, rather than 5, I would highly suggest being honest with yourself and your audience, investors, and your creators. I honestly wish you the best of luck. All respects, all love,